Well, I was back in college when it first came out, this small little company that was looking to defy what everybody thought couldn't be done. They were showing the world what they could do with new technology. And with that, they built an empire, not only on the vehicles, but also on the service of those vehicles. Tesla became a big and powerful company, and even with only 4 models, if you include the Cybertruck and the Transport now, 6 models in its product lineup, Tesla is one of the biggest players out there right now. But at one point in time, it was just one of those little up-and-coming brands. And even still, without a main product line, it's still an up-and-coming brand, but a powerful up-and-coming brand. Today, AutoLooks is going to be taking a look at some of the most powerful up-and-coming brands that are about to take us to the next level. Welcome back to the AutoLooks podcast. I am your host, as always, the doctor to the automotive industry, Mr. Everett J, coming to you from our host website at AutoLooks.net. If you haven't been there, stop by, check it out, as our end of the year ratings will be coming within early January 2024. Find out who wins that coveted AutoLooks A+ award and the Rusty Award for Worst Designed Car of the Year, all in January of 2024. The AutoLooks podcast is brought to you by Ecom Entertainment Group and distributed by Podbeam.com. If you'd like to get in touch with us, send us an email over at email@autolooks.net. So like I said in the beginning, Tesla was one of those small little companies that was like the little engine that could. It thought it could, and now, even though it doesn't have a full product lineup, it still manages to be number 1 in nearly every category it's in. And now with the release of the Cybertruck, are they about to take the truck world by storm? Probably not. But the specialty truck market is where they're going to take it. But speaking of that, Tesla was one of these little companies that proved to the world that you could start from scratch and build an empire. And that's what's happening today all over the world, especially in China. China's got some of the biggest players of up-and-coming brands. But it's not just China. It's also India. There's one in Europe and 2 American car companies, all from these up-and-coming brands. Now, I want to take a look at our backyard and our home market. Lucid and Rivian seem to be the ones that are going to push us to the next level in North American production. Rivian has already showcased to us that electric trucks can be something cool, and they can prove their worth in the off-road market. But on top of that, Rivian is slowly becoming a major player in the cargo van industry with its sealed bid for the Amazon distribution vans. The Rivian vans are going to become the main distribution vehicle for Amazon. And now they're signing more deals. Now we get it. BrightDrop from General Motors and Stellantis with all the electrified versions of its Opel, Fiat Professional, even Ram products. On top of that, also supplying products to Toyota are going to play a big role into this marketplace. But Rivian grabbed the headlines first off. They showcased to the world electric cargo vans are coming, and they showed us what they're going to be like. On top of that, Lucid is one of those up-and-coming brands. Yes, they're having trouble getting off the ground, similar to that of Rivian. But Lucid itself, with the release of the brand new Gravity SUV, the Lucid sedan is showcasing to us American luxury. Something even better than Cadillac. Yeah, Lucid is about to set the precedence of American luxury unseen since the days of Duesenberg and Packard. Lucid is going to bring back that American luxury. They may not become the world's biggest automotive player, but they're going to do it on a luxury front. Now, like all great luxury makes and all great startups, they do have a few hiccups along the route. That doesn't mean that Lucid won't be here in the future. Lucid may find its niche in the high class and premier marketplaces, going up against the likes of Rolls-Royce, Bentley, and Maybach. Lucid may be the only electric brand running in that class. On the other side of the pond, NanoFlow Cell. If you haven't heard of them, NanoFlow Cell has been around for quite a while. They've kind of been in the background of everything, where everybody's fighting over electric, hybrid, the internal run of synthetic fuels for the internal combustion engine, and even hydrogen. Flow cell technology has taken a back seat. But that was until 2023, when they set up an office in North America. Now, with distribution rights in the North American climate, NanoFlow Cell is going to be able to start producing and selling flow cell technology in the North American marketplace on top of the European marketplace. Breaking into the California market may be the key that unlocks NanoFlow Cell's future. Their flow cell technology might not be their bread and butter win, but it may be the one thing that keeps us from having a fully electrified future. With flow cell technology coming down in price and showcasing to us that it is feasible, this could be one of those small little companies that, even if it doesn't produce vehicles, will be producing technology for the automotive world of the future. Now, heading over into India, we get both Mahindra and Tata. We get it. Mahindra and Tata have been around for a long time. But why are they on our list of up-and-coming brands? Tata's been around for a long time, and they got their hands in everything, similar to that of Hyundai, where the Tata car brand is known for its basic, bland, and cheap products. But owning Jaguar and Land Rover, and Jaguar and Land Rover pumping tons of money into their electrified future, is showcasing that an electrified luxury brand from Europe, who has owners in India, may be able to showcase an electrified future. Now, unfortunately, this is a major gamble on their part, where if the EV world does collapse, Tata will lose its standing as an up-and-coming brand and falter back to being a nothingness company. Mahindra, on the other hand, Mahindra has ownership of Pininfarina. Yes, one of the best design houses in Italy, and Mahindra owns them. They were utilizing them for brand new designs for the ill-fated Ssangyong brand from Korea before they finally divested themselves away from it. Now Mahindra is looking at its future and looking at its own product lines. Using Pininfarina designs, Mahindra may have a chance in the future. In being one of the largest tractor manufacturers in the world, Mahindra may have a possibility of becoming one of the biggest off-road and truck manufacturers in the Asian marketplace, giving another up-and-coming brand from China a run for their money. Unfortunately, the Indian marketplace isn't as big as the Chinese marketplace, with massive amounts of sub-brands. Mahindra may either need to buy out other brands or create new sub-brands to enter both the premium and luxury marketplace to keep this train rolling. On our way over to China, we run into an amazing company, Fujian Motors, also associated with Hanhui Precision or Foxconn Technology, is one of these small up-and-coming brands. We get it. Vietnam has VinFast, and everybody thinks VinFast is going to take the world by storm. But VinFast has been moving like molasses in the North American marketplace, where Foxconn has bought out production facilities from two American companies, moving Faraday Future into production stage to try and get that product going, and sweeping the Lordstown Automotive manufacturing plant from underneath of them. With Lordstown now gone, Foxconn can now buy their technology and have their manufacturing plant already set up to build electronic trucks. With Foxconn looking towards their Foxtron brand, they may have a major future in the automotive world with amazing designs. Foxtron may have what it takes to take on the world of EVs and even go up against the mighty Chinese brands with a hatchback, a sedan, and a pickup truck, along with a city bus and soon a transport truck. Foxtron is moving into every major facet of the automotive world, and they're doing it fairly quickly, coming from technology company. But technology companies are all the rave now. And it's kind of funny because how we've been talking about it in North America about Apple creating their own car. Hell, over in China, one cell phone manufacturer has already done this threefold, working with business partners. Huawei Technologies has managed to create the Avatar brand, the Luxeed brand, and the Ito brand. Ito is a division off of the Sears Motors. Avatar is with Chang, and Luxeed is with Chery. Huawei has their hands in with three major players in the Chinese marketplace, all to help them build their technology vehicles for the future. But you have to ask yourself, why do you need three separate divisions? Well, Huawei looks at it as the burgeoning Chinese marketplace. With so many new brands coming out and the EV industry heating up in the Chinese marketplace, Hey, Huawei might just be onto something by trying to get their hands into bed with three major players to get their products out, to see which product is essentially going to win the day for them and become their main product line. Going after both CUV marketplaces, sedan marketplaces, and even the active lifestyle vehicles. Huawei is looking at building some amazing products. But in the end, will Huawei win? Who's to say? Our next little company is one that's been on a spending spree in the supercar marketplace. We've all heard about the new Tomaso that came out, but did you also know that the same company that owns the Tomaso brand now also owns the Apollo and Gumpert brands? And they're looking at building a brand new high-performance supercar ring for the Chinese marketplace through the ownership of amazing European names. Sound familiar? Kind of like how Geely went on a spending spree and bought out Lotus, Volvo, London Electric Vehicles, and Proton. To try and get their hands in all over the world is the reason why Geely is now a big player. But Ideal Team Ventures, owning De Tomaso, Gumpert, and Apollo brands, has a ton of technology to build super fast vehicles, something that no one else in China does. Yangwang is one of the few companies that is now looking at building a supercar. Same with GAC's Ion brand. But Ideal Team Ventures is solely a supercar manufacturer trying to build an empire to go up against the likes of Ferrari, Lamborghini, and McLaren. This company will only be a major player in the end if they can manage to get a big enough product lineup with enough backing. So far, Ideal Team Ventures has kind of faltered on some of its image, with Apollo brand falling in the wayside, Gumpert completely disappearing, and the Tomaso brand being a one-pony show. Ideal Team Ventures may have to hit the gas just a bit more to keep this good train rolling. But on top of that, Aya from Guangzhou Automotive Group makes GAC one of those big major players. And GAC may not seem like one of the biggest players in China, but they are a major up-and-coming brand. With tie-ins with Stellantis, GAC has managed to build an empire, all built off of GAC Motors, GAC Ion, Haiken, Ganao, and Changfeng. Some of these brands may not seem super big, but Ion for its electric vehicles, with its new Hyper sub-brand for sedan, sports car, and now an active lifestyle vehicle made to go up against the like of the Model X, of course winning a copycat award this year for that as well. GAC has become one of the premier brands from China, with the GAC Trumchi brand becoming a main player in both premium and luxury fields. GAC is a brand that's slowly moving its way up the food chain. They're not pumping out the massive amounts of brands that other major players are doing, like Chery, SAIC, FAW, BAIC, and even Geely are doing. No, Guangzhou Automotive Group is holding their own with what they have and working on amazing designs and products that makes them better than the competition. But the competition, being Chery International, could be a big issue. Chery is one of those brands who once was a power brand in China, but has fallen by the wayside. They are making their triumphant return with a bunch of smaller brands. Koros is kind of kicking it old school, but Chery with their Exceed brand, Jetour, and Kaye Auto are now breathing new life into a previous brand that Malcolm Brickland himself have thought of bringing to North America. Unfortunately, Chery is going to have to give a good push towards the future if they want to keep their train moving. Their power has been pulled from them, but there's a possibility of bringing their Exceed brand to both Europe and North American marketplace. The Chery may be able to get that foothold ahead of the competition. And one of their biggest competitors, along with GAC, that's an up-and-coming brand, is Dongfeng Motor Group, with their alias brands Venusia and now Voya. Voya has now been setting the standards for new luxury brands in China. Voya has been built by Dongfeng to go up against the likes of FAW's Hongqi. Now, Hongqi is the main product stable for dignitaries and government officials in China, and has been that way for decades. But Voya wants to steal their thunder. With both minivans and sedans, Voya is now pumping into every major luxury marketplace in the Chinese market. And they're doing this to keep the likes of Mercedes, BMW, Volvo, Jaguar, Lexus, Infiniti all at bay, because Dongfeng knows they have a product lineup at the bottom end that's going to pump up what's on top. Dongfeng Trucks is still one of the biggest players for transport trucks in the Chinese marketplace. And with Venucia being a tie-in with the Renault-Nissan group to build more mainstream electric vehicles, which helps spearhead the Alias brand, Dongfeng, now with Fengchuang, Forthing, and the Venucia brands, is now hitting every major mark of the internal combustion engine marketplace, on top of hitting the both entry-level, mid-tier, and luxury markets of the electric vehicles. Dongfeng's hitting it all, and hitting it all on the head. It is great to know that this player that's been around for a long time is still pushing it hard, but not as hard as one of the biggest players in the Chinese marketplace. Today, CUVs and SUVs, or utility vehicles, are a big player, but also the Chinese marketplace is big on mid-size trucks and is now getting into full-size pickup trucks. One of the biggest players in the pickup truck and SUV marketplace in China, similarity to both General Motors, or the GMC brand in North America. Great Wall Motors, so GWM, is becoming the biggest player in the truck and SUV marketplace in China, with their brands from Haval, Power, Aura, Tank, and Wei. Great Wall Motors, as its mainstay brand, is bringing people in the door to get them into all of their other products. Where Great Wall Motors was its initial step into the pickup truck marketplace, Haval became the mainstay for the SUV and CUV marketplace in the Chinese market. Haval is to China what Jeep is to North America. Tank has now become the new player to go up against the likes of the Wrangler, the Grand Cherokee, the Land Cruiser, the Lexus LX, the top players in full utility format. Tank is here, and they're here to take on the likes of Land Rover firsthand. When you have products in your table going up against both the likes of Jeep and Land Rover, and doing it on a scale that Great Wall Motors is doing, the SUV marketplace in China better watch out, because Tank is here, and Tank is slowly taking over with products from the subcompact all the way up to the extended lineups in both standard, premium, and luxury formats. Both Tank and Haval have hit every nail in the utility form marketplace. And then we get Aura and Wei, where Aura is here for entry-level electronic vehicles. Wei was initially set up as the premium division of the Haval products, but now Haval is moving into more of a premium marketplace, where Wei is now moving out into a luxury field of utility vehicles and even minivans and sedans. They are the luxury format of Aura products, where Power is the premium versions of Great Wall Motors. Great Wall is not just an up-and-coming brand. Great Wall is the up-and-coming brand when it comes to pickup trucks and utility vehicles in the Chinese marketplace. Ford, GM, and Ram all have to watch out, because Great Wall Motors is their biggest threat in the Chinese marketplace. And if Great Wall Motors decides to go over into Europe or into North America, the big three of pickup trucks are really going to have to watch their ass, because Great Wall Motors has a big market to play in and a lot of product lines to play with. But China also has some other major players who are breaking through. Daeyan, that small little company, Daeyan, that's been around for a few decades now, building small economy cars, is Huanheng, a new electric vehicle product range. They win a lot of cookie-cutter awards because their products are very simplistic, but they give you a premium feel at an average price. Where Daeyan was the economy brand to get you in the door to buy, Huanheng is here to keep you going. Similar to how Daihatsu complements Toyota and Toyota complements Lexus. Daeyan Group now has two brands, and with their knowledge of production, they get a lot behind them to keep this train moving for the future. But China isn't all great, and it isn't all these big brands with multiple divisions. There are also 3 main electric vehicle product ranges, which are major up-and-coming players heading up to go after Tesla. 2 of them are already taking Tesla out, with one of them only needing to enter the North American marketplace to really drive that big nail into Tesla's coffin. Neta, NIO, and Xpeng, or Xiaopeng, are big players in the EV marketplace in China. Neta, which is part of Hosan Auto, is an entry-level electric brand, bringing small cars to every mass situation, from sedans to hatchback to crossovers to CUVs and now a coupe, something that the Chinese marketplace is lacking. 2-door fun vehicle, and Hosan Auto is kicking it. They are going after this marketplace, and with their new coupe profile, Hosan Auto may have something that its competitors don't have now or won't have for another 2 years. Similar to Xpeng. Xpeng may seem like a little player, but being a major player in flying vehicles sets the future for Xpeng to become more than just an electric car manufacturer going up against the likes of NIO and Tesla. Xpeng already has their foot in the door to build eVTOLs. Yes, drone-style flying cars. And using the money from building their electric vehicles, Xpeng is an up-and-coming brand who may set the world standard similar to Tesla 20 years ago for the eVTOLs. Yes, Xpeng is going to be the car of the future. They are going to be the Jetson vehicle. With only Hyundai coming after them, Xpeng is soon to be number 1. But when you think about number 1 brands in China, the biggest up-and-coming brand out of the entire Chinese marketplace that's setting the standard in its segment for everything, expanding its product lineup, showcasing everyone, amazing designs, and moving into the European marketplace, selling products faster than Tesla. NIO is one of the biggest players in the electric vehicle industry. With their biggest competitor being Tesla, NIO may have what it takes to take down Tesla everywhere it goes, being the reason why Tesla has cut their product prices massively in the past decade. NIO is not just a technology company who builds battery swapping stations. They are a technology company that builds some of the best electric vehicles from the Chinese marketplace, hands down, and they are making waves into the European marketplace. And with their eyes set on Hungary for a new production facility, NIO may be on its first step to looking at building products for the North American marketplace. And if that's a possibility, which they're already looking at plants in Mexico to build NIO products to enter the North American marketplace. NIO, if they do that, will become Tesla's biggest threat. NIO may not have a truck yet or a transport, but they have crossovers, CUVs, sedans, and station wagons. Their product lineup is twice that of Tesla. And with sales in China ramping up to take out Tesla within the next 5 years, NIO may be the biggest thing that comes from China since the Great Wall. But out of all of this, there is one little player that we actually missed, that a lot of people don't think about at all. And it's going to take us to that production facility in Mexico as we jump into the North American marketplace again to visit 2 little companies that became one. One that got production rights from China and a Chinese boutique builder to build and sell their products in North America. This little company is slowly moving its way up the food chain. And even though they still haven't sold a vehicle in the North American marketplace under their name, they have so in Europe. And they are now building full frames for electric cargo transports. We're talking about Mullen Automotive. And Mullen Automotive may not seem like a major player, but Mullen Automotive also owns Bollinger Motors, that boxy, boring, top, cookie-cutter shaped vehicle for the off-road market, is becoming one of the number 1 players in electric cargo trucks. And with the Mullen 5 active lifestyle vehicle about to hit the market within the next 18 months, Mullen may have what it takes to become even bigger than Tesla, knowing that having extra divisions to help prop you up in other parts of the world, Mullen might be the next big player in North America. Now all they have to do is bring their Chinese-built products into the North American marketplace for the delivery world to help prop up the bottom end to ensure that the Mullen 5 and the Mullen Dragon get the marketplace running. We hope they do, because we hope that Mullen will do what they are planning to do. In the history of the automotive world, there's been a lot of major up-and-coming players. Every year, we hear about new companies from China. Hell, we even got a new one from Turkey called TOG. But we don't know if they're ever going to make it in the big automotive world that's out there. Some of them will find a small niche and cling on to a lifespan for a short amount of time, while others will grow big, contract, and fight to come back. Some of these up-and-coming players that we've talked about have been around for quite a while. Some of them are new, but all of them have one goal in mind, and that is to beat their biggest competition, like every other major player out there. But they all have found a separate niche to go after, and exploiting those niches can help you grow bigger than the competition. Where Uber found a niche in ride-sharing, Rivian has found a niche in cargo vans, similar to that of NIO, finding a niche in being the first player in the electric vehicle industry before Tesla in some locations. All of these players have something that's going for them, and something that's going to drive them against the competition in the future and quite possibly take down the competition. Will they all make it? There's no guarantee. A sharp decline in our economy can affect any of these major players. But really, in the end, only the strongest will survive, and the ones that find their strong suit and exploit it the best will be the ones that keep moving forward. So with that, these players have a great hand in front of them. Let's just hope they know how to play their cards right. So if you like this podcast, please like, share, or comment about it on any of the major social feeds that you find us on, or any of the major streaming sites you find us on, and click the like button below. Or on any of the social feeds that you find us on, like us, follow us to find out more from the AutoLooks.net podcast, the AutoLooks.net website, and Ecom Entertainment Crew. Click the like button and follow us. If you'd like to get in touch with us, send us an email over at email@autolooks.net. We're looking to interview people. If you want to talk about the automotive industry, send us an email over at email@autolooks.net. The AutoLooks podcast is brought to you by Ecom Entertainment Group and distributed by Podbean.com. If you'd like to get in touch with either Everett J or the Ecom Entertainment Group, please send us an email over at email@autolooks.net. So, for myself, Everett J, the AutoLooks website, and Ecom Entertainment Group, strap yourself in for this one fun, wild ride that these major up-and-coming brands are going to take us on.